All right, let's go over this week's best setups. I think I have five or six, well, no, five, 5 pairs that I will be looking at. Some look like they might be ready tomorrow. We just got to wait and see. I don't think they'll be ready tonight, but who knows? First one is GBPCAD. If we jump to the weekly, we can see that price is clearly bullish. We notice that price is making higher highs, higher lows, and last week price ended up pushing back down into this area of interest that we can see on the daily. I did have one marked up here on the weekly, but price ended up pushing lower, so I just went down to the daily time frame, found an area of support and resistance where price respected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and as we see, price came down and hit it. It also hit this trend line that you saw on the weekly. So now that price has entered that area, just looking or going down to lower time frames to see how price is respecting it, we see here that price is potentially making a inverted head and shoulders, or basically did make it, and is headed to the upside. So me personally, I have this alarm set here. Just if price comes down and retests back to this big bullish engulfing candle, I may look to hop in it, take an entry, put stops either below this area of interest or maybe even below these candles, and then go for that 1 to 2, 1 to 3. So GBPCAD, I like the way it looks, just following structure to the upside. Very simple, nothing hard about it. Next one is NZDUSD. Here we can see that price is headed to the upside as well. Let me clear some of this up. Price is headed to the upside. Don't mind this trend line. We jump to the daily. We see that majority of price is the same, going to the upside. I didn't mark these out on my my trend line, because those are like outliers. But as we see, majority of the trend is going to the upside. And the main thing is just knowing where you're at when it comes to finding your entries, just knowing exactly where you're at on the markets. What is price doing? We saw price make a higher high. So what are we expecting? Price to make a higher low, to do what? Continue with the higher time frame of the trend going bullish. So this one was more of a 4-hour area of interest. As we see, price came up, respected again, respected this area all through here, broke above, respected it, broke below, respected it, broke back above, respected it. Very simple, very simple. And here, this is what I mean when I say you got to know where you're at, even when you're going down to the lower time frames. We know that the daily made a newer high, or a higher high, so we're expecting a higher low, meaning that this is the higher low, to do what? Have price continue to head to the upside. So that's why I had this alert set here, and then price already entered, didn't really give us anything for us to enter buys, but price has re-entered this area of interest. So once it does that, I'll see how it's reacting. 1 from the area of interest, 2 from the trend line, and then if we get an entry signal, big 3 candle sequence, or a big bullish engulfing candle, or if you want to wait for that shift of structure, you can then end up hopping in buys for this. So NZDUSD to the upside, I like it. Next one is GBPJPY. We see here on the weekly, price is headed up, right? Headed up. So what am I doing? Looking to head up as well. If you want more confirmation, just go down to a lower time frame. And as we see, price has made new highs, new lows. What is price currently doing? Potentially making its way to make a new high. So since we know that on the daily, we jump down to the 4-hour and we see how price is moving. We see this right here was the pullback, right? This is the pullback. And what is price doing? Price broke out. What are we expecting? Price to retest and continue higher. Retest and continue higher. So again, I'm going to emphasize, just make sure that you know where you're at in the markets. because it's going to make trading and looking for entries a lot easier. This right here, you could also say this was the shifter structure, pull back either to this area. Why this area? Because price has respected it multiple times, or this area down here. Why? Because price has respected it multiple times. Then once we get into that area, we just look to see if we have an entry. If price gives us an entry, then we look to continue with the buys. So GBPJPY, I like that one to the upside as well. Next one is GBPUSD. Jump to the weekly. We see that price is making higher highs, higher lows. Last week or 2 weeks ago, price made a higher high. So what are we expecting? Higher low to do what? Continue higher. We jump to the daily. It should be very simple. All we're doing is following the trend. Higher high, expecting a higher low to then look for buys to make a higher high. Area of interest, 1 touch, 2, 3. As you see, price already came back into this area and is starting to show rejection. If we jump down to the lower time frames, we see a 3 candle sequence, big engulfing candle. Not only that, price ended up retesting it, showing us some more rejection. So if price comes back and retests a third time, excuse me, this wouldn't be bad to hop in it to continue those buys. Stops would be under area of interest, and then look for that 1 to 2.5, 1 to 3, and then just let it ride out. So I mean, this is probably the most clear-cut one. Like, honestly, this is very simple. Higher highs, higher lows, going up with the trend, right? Should be very, very simple. Next one is CADJPY. Now this one, the weekly, you could use the trend line if you want. Actually, this one isn't even bad. This one is definitely continuing to go up in my personal opinion. But we have this downward trend line. Price ended up, one, not making a new low. Pushed up, closed above the trend line. Let me zoom in so y'all can see. Pushed up, closing above the trend line, retested it, and then made a higher high. So this should already let you know, okay, on the weekly, this is pretty much the start of an uptrend. What am I expecting? I got too many lines. Shit might be confusing. What am I expecting as far as last week? Price to come back, retest this area because it just made a higher high, retest this area, and then continue higher. So price did that, ended up giving us rejection, pushing off this area. As you can see, pushing off trend line, area of interest. We jump down to the lower time frames. I don't think it gave us an entry. Nah, I mean, for me personally, it didn't give me an entry. If you wanted to look on the lower time frames, like the 30 or the 15, you could, but I just personally didn't. But for this upcoming week, we see that price already rejected from here. So what am I going to be expecting? Looking for an area of interest on the daily. As you see, price came respected, 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 respected. What am I looking for this upcoming week? Price to come back down, respect this area since we broke above, and then continue higher. So I'll just be waiting for price to reach this area on the 1 hour or the 4 hour. Give me a 3 candle sequence, or if you want to wait for a shifter structure, you could do that, and then look to take price to the upside. So I really like this one, and I really like GBPUSD just because I feel like those are very clear cut. Shouldn't be anything really confusing about it. But that's how we're looking for this upcoming week. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments or reach out to me in the Discord, and I will definitely get back to y'all. But with that being said, y'all be safe, have a blessed week, and let's lock in and make some money. I'll catch y'all in the next video.